the lasting memory. In a collection of moments,
puts up a floater,
all coming together to create something incredible.
Shine might take it.
Not one, not two, but 5 overtimes.
FGCU!
Dog City, Florida Gulf Coast shocks the world. Wichita State going to the Final Four.
Coaches and players determined to leave their mark to forever echo in our minds.
They throw at the left of the floor. Leitner catches, comes down, dribbles, shoots, scores! Christian Leitner has hit the bucket at the buzzer!
Goes back to Michael Jordan, jumper from out on the left. Good! The Tar Heels are going to win the national championship!
Lorenzo Charles slams it in. The Cinderella team has done it. The Wolfpack has won the national championship.
But for now, all that remains is anticipation of moments from a new season still unwritten.
Everybody together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
The journey to March starts once again.
Welcome to ESPNU's coverage of Midnight Madness. We are at Gamble Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut on the campus of the University of Connecticut. Here in Huskyland as they await the 2013-14 season and a lot of excitement surrounding both the men's and women's programs. You're going to be accompanied by any person on the UConn campus. It's going to be next to my friend, UConn legend Rebecca Lobo. And Rebecca, the women, nothing new. High expectations coming into the season, coming off their 8th national championship. What can we expect from Gino Auriemma's crew this year?
Well, they're very comfortable being in this position because they've been there before. This is a team that returned 7 of the top 8 scorers from a season ago, most notably sophomore Brianna Stewart. She came alive during the NCAA tournament, was the most outstanding performer in the Final Four. This is a team that's looking to pick up where they left off a season ago and is eager to have those other teams coming for them. Now, on the men's side, they were ineligible to play in the NCAA tournament a season ago. What do you expect from them this year?
Kevin Ollie has that interim tag removed, and so there is that consistency now with this team. And you look at their backcourt, I think it's the nation's best backcourt. When you look at Shabazz Napier and Ryan Boatwright, yeah, diminutive in stature, but they've got great toughness, great quickness. The front court is going to have to produce for Kevin Ollie. I think that's going to be the difference. Can DeAndre Daniels, Tyler Olander, give him enough production up there, this team should be back in the NCAA tournament.
Well, it's going to be an exciting year for everybody here in Connecticut. Both of these teams ready to get things started here tonight.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere here, and it's no surprise. I mean, the men's and women's programs have had so much success over the years, national championships, Final Fours, a lot of students out tonight, and a unique circumstance here in that we're going to have Team Gino and Team Kevin later on in the evening, a mixed scrimmage between the men's and women's players.
Yeah, something they've never done before here in their first night, their Midnight Madness. I'm interested to see how hard both the men's and women's players are going to go and what it's going to be like. Which ball are they going to use?
That's a good question.
We have to find that out.
Which ball they're going to use. And also, as it kind of happens in all-star games, because this is an all-star game really, when you look at the talent on both sides, are they kind of going through the motions, first part of the game, and then when it really gets to winning time, who steps up? But it should be a great season of basketball here in Storrs, Connecticut. As you take a look, there's Kevin Ollie coming out onto the court, a great response. Gino Auriemma, just a legend here. Rebecca, you played for him, and I mean, winning never gets old for him, and his push for excellence for his players.
Yeah, it's not about what they did a season ago. He's ready to get things started right now.
Hey, y'all got to give me 1 minute, just 1 minute, just for myself. Damn, I miss y'all so much. Miss y'all so much. I am so excited for this season. So excited. First, I want to just thank our fans. I don't even call y'all fans, I call y'all family. So I want to thank y'all for coming out. Keep coming out, keep supporting us. And also, I want to just say congratulations to Gino again and the women's team for winning another national championship. Our team has already been practicing for 2 weeks. They're competing, but what I say all the time to them, we compete on the court, but most importantly, we complete each other. So when we out here practicing to make it all complete, we need y'all's support. We thank y'all for coming out. I want this place packed every night, and we're gonna show a great show for y'all all the season. Thank you.
All right, man, this is the biggest crowd we've had, I think, in the last 10 years that we've done this. It's unbelievable. And I know last year when March Madness came around, there was only one team playing for a lot of different reasons, a lot of circumstances that we don't need to address. But if you think you had fun last March, where do you see how much fun you have this March with 2 teams playing in the tournament? And I know we got to get started with the players. I just want to say one thing about, first, our students. A lot of you grew up watching UConn basketball on television. And now you're here live and in person, and you're going to get to feel exactly what you saw on television all those years. And I want you to become part of the new tradition that we have here at UConn. Because you're going to be the new tradition. And remember this, I said this before, remember this. First of all, there's nothing like having a men's coaching staff where every single player, every single coach on that staff played here at UConn. Now, I don't want to say anything, but Kevin's the oldest person on the staff in terms of how many games he's coached at UConn as a head coach. But if they played one-on-one, I'd still pick him to kick their ass anyway. And I want you to go home with one thing tonight after you watch us play. When you're back home and people ask you, hey, you guys used to be in the Big East, what league are you in now? Just tell them, we're in a league of our own, goddammit, we're UConn.
Have a great night, everybody. Have a great night. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. 10 toes in. 10 toes in. Team Kevin. Team Kevin. Team Kevin. Team Kevin. Get up.
I've been here more than half my life. Sometimes it's during the preseason in September when they're just working out on their own with their strength coach and conditioning, and you can just sense there's a focus there.
Chemistry is so fragile, you know, it can be broken so easily, but once it's together, it's something so strong.
What motivates us is getting up every morning. Defense, running, playing with toughness, always having the will to outperform your opponent and outwill them.
This year is going to have to be a team effort for sure.
There's a lot of people that believe in that and want to support them and want the best for them. And I hope they take it seriously that, hey, it comes with a certain set of expectations.
They understand that they're doing something special each and every day. And I want them to have pride in putting that jersey on.
It's a huge motivator for our players.
The intensity, the focus, it all has to pick up.
There's no wins, there's no losses. But if you come in here and put a man on your potential every day, you're going to get better.
You always want to win. I mean, I'm playing the game to win it.
Nothing's given to you. It has to be earned.
If you trust your teammate, it's kind of like blind trust. That's what Coach Charlie says all the time.
My speed can either make me or break me, honestly.
We definitely gonna fight to the end.
We gotta play for each game like it's our best game.
It's some great competition night in and night out.
What motivates me is the players. When I look at them and I see the look in their eyes, like, Coach, if you help me, I think I can do this, and this. That's what I rely on.
We're the best team in the nation, and we just got to prove that every time we step on the court.
Everybody is buying into one common goal, and that's winning.
It's all the little things that, we need to do to win games, and, it just shows how tremendous we are together.
We got a motto, 10 toes in, not 5. So when you step in this gym, you got 10 toes in. If you don't have it, you got a problem with me.
I've done it all my life. That's what I grew up knowing is defense wins championships.
You can work as hard as you want in the offseason, but anything you did doesn't matter.
After you're finished bleeding all the red that's in your body, then you're allowed to bleed blue. Then you're a true hustler.
Napier's three. Got it!
I haven't seen Gino Auriemma this fired up in a long time.
I am UConn. I went here, I graduated here. It's from me, it's from the inside.
It's good. It's raining threes for UConn.
It's a motivation that some guys that came here before you laid down a foundation and now you build up on it. I've been here 22 years and this is the only brotherhood I know.
Country, get on your feet and make some noise for your 2013 UConn Huskies. From Team Gino, a 6'3" junior guard. From Middletown, Connecticut, number 24, Pat Linehan. From Team Kevin, a 6'9" freshman forward from Trelawney, Jamaica, number 12, Kenton Basie. From Team Gino, a 6'1" senior guard. From Brooklyn, New York, number 25, Tor Watts. From Team Kevin, a 7-foot freshman center. From Accra, Ghana, number 35, Amida Freeman. From Team Gino, a 6'4" freshman guard. From Brooklyn, New York, number 3, Terrence Samuel. From Team Kevin, a 5'7" freshman guard. From Ansonia, Connecticut, number 20, Tierney Lawler. From Team Gino, a 6'10" freshman forward. From Milwaukee, Wisconsin, number 0, Phil Nolan. From Team Kevin, a 6'4" sophomore guard. From Raleigh, North Carolina, number 44, Rodney Curtis. From Team Gino, a 5'8" freshman guard. From Ossining, New York, number 12, Sanaya John. From Team Gino, a 5'7" guard. From Miami, Florida, number 11, Brianna Polito. From Team Gino, a 6'6" sophomore guard. From Brooklyn, New York, number 21, Omar Calhoun. From Team Kevin, a 6'8" sophomore forward. From Berlin, Germany, number 22, Leon Tolstoy. From Team Kevin, a 5'7" sophomore guard. From Glen Heights, Texas, number 4, Mariah Jefferson. From Team Kevin, a 6'2" sophomore forward. From Bolingbrook, Illinois, number 3, Morgan Tuck. From Team Gino, a 6'9" junior forward. From Los Angeles, California, number 2, DeAndre Daniels. From Team Kevin, a 6'6" grad student guard. From Greenbelt, Maryland, number 20, Lasan Roma. From Team Chino, a 6'4" sophomore forward. From Syracuse, New York, number 30, Brianna Stewart. From Team Kevin, a 6'10" senior forward. From Mansfield, Connecticut, number 10, Tyler Olander. From Team Gino, a 6'7" senior forward. From Berlin, Germany, number 5, Niels Gaffar. From Team Kevin, a 5'9" junior guard. From Noonan, Georgia, number 13, Brianna Banks. From Team Gino, a 6'3" junior center. From Marion, Iowa, number 41, Kia Stokes. From Team Kevin, a 6' junior forward. From Anaheim Hills, California, number 23, Helena Mosqueda-Lewis. A 5'8" senior guard from North Babylon, New York, number 14, Bria Hartley. From Team Kevin, a 6' junior guard. From Aurora, Illinois, number 11, Ryan Bobright.
Show me what you twerk with. So good, do the lap dance. I'm in that white ghost, chase a pack, yeah. 100 out the lot, I'll be cleaning, that's a rock. 100 large, bring a my cars.
From Team Gino, a 6'1" senior guard. From Roxbury, Mass, number 13, Shabazz Napier. From Team Kevin, a 6'5" senior center. From Port Jervis, New York, number 31, Stephanie Dolce. Let's give it up one more time for your 2013 UConn Huskies.
What about those intros, Rebecca? Do we have a grading scale there for the best performance?
Oh, without question. I mean, if you're going, Stephanie Dolson had the best dance moves, in my opinion. What do you think? I mean, she kind of embraced the whole magic of coming out and dancing in front of 8,000 people.
Yeah, she also sang, kind of lip synced. She had her own song going on there. I think they knew that that she was going to be the must-see TV part of that. We'll hear more from Gino Auriemma and Kevin Ollie when we come back. It's Midnight Madness here at UConn. A little bit of Stephanie Dolson getting hyped for the season, singing along. They're excited here in stores.
Here's Stewart. Got it. That kid is on fire. Harley with a kick. Let's get Lewis nails the three. UConn is carving up Louisville. Connecticut brings the title back to Stores in 2013.
Complete domination by Gino Auriemma's Huskies in that national championship game. Let's take a look at his career accomplishments. You see there, 839 wins, 8 national titles. They'll go for their 9th, a resounding favorite as they go into this season. And someone that knows a lot about the UConn program, Rebecca Lobo, is standing by with her former college coach, Gino Auriemma.
Here you go again, Coach Auriemma. Kara just said the resounding favorite to repeat as national championship. What are your expectations now that you're 2 practices into the season?
You know, we talked a lot about that, and I think it's important that after the first week of practice, you don't talk about March or defending national championships or anything like that. I just told them that our goal this year is to win every competition. Every time I put a goal up in front of them in practice, their goal is just to win that. And then if we do that on a consistent basis, the other stuff will take care of itself.
Brianna Stewart was a completely different player once postseason play started a year ago. What are your expectations of her coming in this year?
You know, somebody said, listen, your freshman year, you're going to win a national championship and be MVP at a tournament, but your sophomore year, we want you to be better than that. I don't know how I would feel about that. I think, in her mind, I think she wants to be more consistent. She wants to be better during the regular season. She wants to be able to play at a consistently high level instead of the ups and downs that she had, where she was great in November, really good in December, and then really struggled for 2 months. So I can see her just being steady the entire year. Beyond that, whatever she does, I won't be surprised.
The one player that you did lose was Kelly Ferris, and she was the player who kind of did all of the little things for you. Which of the players on your team can assume that role for you this year?
You know, that's going to be hard because Kelly's such an unusual type of player, and we really don't have anyone that can really fit that mold by themselves. So maybe a combination. I think Kalina Lewis wants to be like a really good defender, and I think she can be. And I think Bria Hartley wants to be that person. I think what happened in the postseason, where she really took that upon herself to be a great defender. And since she's like the forgotten player on our team, Bria Hartley, this might be something that really kind of gets her juices flowing.
And who is the player on the team that you can see surprising people a little bit?
I think Kia Stokes. I think this is her time. After you've been here for 2 years and you haven't played as much as you thought you could play, there comes a point where you're just going to have to step up now. And I watched her the first 2 days of practice, and other than Stephanie Dolson, she's been the most impressive player in practice, for sure, yeah.
Now, this is the 8th year you've had the combined men's and women's first night, but the first time you've had a mixed scrimmage.
Yeah.
What are you looking to see out of this tonight?
Well, I know the players are really excited about it. It's a lot of fun, and they kid each other all the time. What am I expecting to see? I'm expecting to see things that I've never seen before. And I told my players there's going to be highlights on ESPN and there's going to be posters. And when one of those guys goes in to dunk, you better be nowhere near that if you don't want to be memorialized for life.
All right, Coach, thank you. Great advice.
Well, thanks, Rebecca. That's Rebecca with Gino Auriemma. And coming up, we'll hear from the men's coach, Kevin Ollie, as he enters his second season as the head coach for the Huskies.
Welcome back to ESPNU Midnight Madness here at UConn. We will send it over now to Kara Lawson, who is with UConn men's coach Kevin Ollie.
Kevin, kind of an atypical year last season. The fact you had the interim tag and then also not eligible for the postseason. Is there a change in approach coming into year two now that you are the permanent coach and your guys have something more to play for going into March?
No, when I came in, I had a 4-month contract, but I had a lifetime contract. I believe in the dark. When I don't know the outcome, I'm going to believe in myself, I'm going to believe in my God, I'm going to believe in my team, and I'm going to also believe in my great university. And I knew with the guys I had on my team and then my coaching staff, I knew we was going to be all right. So I believe in the dark, and we're going to go forward, same expectations. We're going to play hard, we're going to be better men every day, and we're going to try to sacrifice for each other and play for this great university. And that's it. That's all we want to do each and every day.
One of the things they're fortunate to have is an outstanding backcourt. And Shabazz Napier and Ryan Boatwright, both now upperclassmen. What do they bring to the table every day in practice as far as their competitive spirit?
Oh, they competitive, and like you just said, but they complete each other, and they compete on every facet of the game. I had to shut them up a lot of times because they want to talk and talk and talk, but, they just so great competitors. They're great teammates. They grew up a lot here, and not only on the basketball court, off the court. They are great young men right now, and they're leaders of this team. And we go as far as our guards go, and they're going to take us to some great heights this year. And I'm just here for the ride.
Well, you said you'll go as far as your guards go, but front court presence is going to be important. And when you look at DeAndre Daniels and the jump he made from his freshman to sophomore year, how has he looked in the preseason, and what type of role do you foresee for him this year?
I see a great role for him. He's just growing up as a young man also. I'm so proud of DeAndre because a lot of people said, oh, DeAndre, this is not the right fit for you after his freshman year. But he said, this is why I came to UConn. I want to get tougher, and that's mentally and physically. And he's doing an excellent job. He's so versatile on the basketball court. I play him at the 4, but we positionless here. So he goes out there and put an impact on the game. And, just with our type of free-flowing system, it gives him a lot of opportunities to post up, a lot of opportunities to pick and pop. And even this year, he's bringing another facet to his game, his ball handling. So I'm going to try that out in this inter-squad scrimmage. I'm going to see how it works. And if it don't work out right, we're going to X that real quick.
You do have some newcomers on the roster.
Yep.
Rodney Purvis, obviously a transfer from NC State, not eligible this year. But which one of your newcomers that can play this year do you foresee making a big impact?
Yeah, Amita is going to be a great basketball player. He's 6'11" from Miami. He's going to be a great player for us. But I see also a veteran-laden team with Lasan Cromar coming in, a fifth-year graduate student from George Washington. I think he's going to do an excellent job for us. Just give us some more depth in the backcourt. Another versatile basketball player, which I love. I can play him at the 2 and the 3, and even in a pinch, I can play him at the 4. We can go small ball. So I really love our versatility on our team. I really love our freshmen. They understanding what we demand here at UConn. Success is never on sale. It's never on discount here. They're going to have to come in and earn their spot, and they're doing a great job. And I look forward to seeing them go out there and play their first night when we play in the Barclays Center.
Thanks for your time, Kevin.
Okay.
Good luck this season.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Lots more coming up here from Gamble Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut. Figure it out. Are you Team Kevin? Are you Team Gino? Find out in a few minutes.
We're back here at Gamble Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut. Midnight Madness here for the UConn Huskies. A lot of anticipation for both the men's and the women's team this season. The men, of course, eligible for the postseason this year. And with the seasoned backcourt of Shabazz Napier and Ryan Boatwright, a lot of expectation. They move into the American Athletic Conference this season. And Kevin Ollie, Rebecca, what a terrific job he did in his first year. He had that interim tag. He had a lot of pressure, but you have to love how he embraced being a UConn Husky and led them to a successful season.
No surprise for me. Kevin Ollie and I were the same year here at the University of Connecticut, and I've never seen a player work harder than he did when he was a player throughout the course of his college career. He came in not the most heralded of his recruiting class, Donyell Marshall was, but in the summertime especially, and in the offseason, he was in the gym constantly working on his game. So you knew he was going to be relentless as a coach after his long NBA career, and he got those guys playing hard. Living in this state last year, there was so much buzz about this team. Even though the fans knew they couldn't make it to the NCAA tournament, they loved watching them play because of how hard these guys performed.
Yeah, one of the huge wins for UConn men last year, upsetting Syracuse there at the XL Center. And let's talk about their backcourt. We talk about how Kevin Ollie embodies toughness and embodies being a great point guard in this program, and they have a couple really good guards. And Ryan Boatwright, he's electric in transition. He's tough to keep in front. You see the athleticism. He's small in stature, but when he gets out in the open court, he can really finish. Great toughness and a scorer. And then Shabazz Napier. There might not be a more important player when you look at the transition from Calhoun to Ollie. Napier embraced it. He comes with a lot of basketball savvy, passing the basketball, involving his teammates. And these two guys, they might be the best backcourt in the country. They're both combo guards, but they can really get after it. And I remember a couple times last year where people said, oh, well, Syracuse length and their zone, they're going to be able to impact these guys. Their quickness, their ability to get to the paint, that changes everything for this team.
Take a look at this backcourt. This is from a season ago, and these are the only two. This is the only combo that is returning to their respective teams. They were sixth the season ago in terms of their production. But what's interesting to me, too, Kara, about the men's team is they've got 5 starters returning. And that is really rare in the men's game because in the top programs, the top players are leaving early for the NBA. So Kevin Ollie has that. He's got this group of young guys who know his system, know how hard he wants them to play, and they've played together for a decent amount of time. So it'll be interesting to see how that translates, especially early in the season because they have that experience playing with one another.
You know, they do, and I don't think there's any question that this is an NCAA tournament team. I mean, the talent that they have and the jumps that these players have made. I mean, you look at DeAndre Daniels and Omar Calhoun. Those are two players I think that really can take a step forward this year. Omar Calhoun was up and down, sometimes inconsistency with his scoring a year ago. He's a physical guard and can make that next jump. And we heard from Kevin Ollie, DeAndre Daniels. He's a 4 player for them, but he's got a lot of versatility. And we see that really across the country in the men's and women's programs. 4 players with versatility. You can take advantage, you can run 4-guard offenses, and you can really look to exploit matchup problems that you have.
And that's a good segue to the UConn women and Brianna Stewart in particular. This is a kid who comes in with a 6'4" frame, but has the shooting ability of a guard, had an outstanding, especially NCAA tournament a year ago, and has the handles of a guard as well. But Stewart, in the tournament last year, 19 points a game, 5.8 rebounds a game. She just really came into her own, and watching her confidence grow, Kara, just in the last 3 weeks of the season, coming from where she was playing only 7 minutes in the Baylor game earlier in the year to being most outstanding performer of the Final Four was striking.
Well, you talked about how the men return 5 of their starters, and UConn returns 4, and I don't think there's a scarier thought than coaches across the country, the fact that Brianna Stewart is back, and she's just a sophomore. I think she's the most talented player in the country.
And it's interesting when Coach Oram was talking about how well Bria Hartley has played, and Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis, you know what you're going to get out of her. She led the country in 3-point field goal percentage a season ago, and this is just a group that they knew coming into UConn what the expectations were going to be. This is a shooter. I'm going to let Kara talk about the shooter.
I love the shooters, Rebecca. I love them. And Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis, the best shooter in the country. I mean, she was close to 50% from beyond the arc the entire season last year. Gino talked about she's trying to add the defensive part to her game, and I think that's key for this team in Connecticut. And we might see her at some 4. We saw it some last year, the different matchups they can have. But here's a player that's really worked on her game and tried to be more than just a shooter.
When you talk about that 4 position again, Coach Orama said Kia Stokes has been really impressive early, and she's a player who has a phenomenal basketball body, broad shoulders, really strong, great shot blocker, good instincts there. And it was always about how hard can he get her to play? Can he get her consistently day in and day out and practicing in games to be the player he wants her to be? If she can consistently perform up to her expectations, this will be a much better UConn team than even people are imagining going into this season.
UConn, definitely the #1 team going in, coming off the national championship and the bevy of talent that they return. But I want to know your top 5. I've got a top 5 as well, but we're going to take a peek at yours first. Who are the top 5 teams in the country on the women's side coming into the year?
Well, you've got UConn at #1, and then, of course, I'm looking at Duke at #2. This is a senior class that has gone to 3 straight Elite Eights. Chelsea Gray is back playing after dislocating her kneecap a season ago. She is not 100% yet, but you saw the freshman come on last year, Alexis Jones. This is a Duke team that I think can be really strong. Tennessee is interesting. The addition of Mercedes Russell inside, this big 6'6" girl to go with what they already had. Maryland will finally be healthy. Alyssa Thomas, one of the most exciting players to watch in the country. And then for me, Louisville, they're returning most of their players from a year ago. This is a team that made an interesting and exciting run by beating Baylor, the biggest upset we've seen in a really long time in the women's tournament. And so right now, those are my top 5 going in. Now I want to see yours.
The same 5 teams, but we've got a little bit different of an order. And where do they get these pictures, Rebecca? I mean, come on.
They said, find a headshot of Rebecca and Kara in tweed, and they put them up there.
Goodness, I've got Connecticut as well. Duke, I agree. I think Chelsea Gray being back. I mean, as a senior now, she was hurt a year ago. Maryland, Lauren Mincy, one of those players I thought they really missed, the outside shooting. Louisville, I've got next. Sharon Vales comes back for them, as well as Tia Gibbs. So not only do they return almost everybody, they also get some reinforcements. And then Tennessee, I think we'll see a big year out of Bashara Graves. Ariel Massengale also played with some of these UConn players in the World University Games over the summer. She had a really good summer. So we agree on the 5 teams going in, just a little bit of different order.
Yeah, and then, of course, Stanford will be back. They'll be good again. Kentucky will be good again. It'll be fun to see, how things play out. And a lot of these teams play each other early in this season, too, so we'll get a better idea of where these teams stand pretty early on.
Yeah, I'm interested in Cal in the early going. And Team Lindsey Gottlieb takes her team to the Final Four a season ago, and they lose some key pieces. I mean, Laisha Clarendon, they lose Rashonda Gray, but they also return some players. And Cal has a challenging schedule. They play Duke early. They also play UConn at the Maggie Dixon in Madison Square Garden. So a lot of testing going on in the non-conference, which will be fun for us. Well, Team Gino and Team Kevin, we're going to check out the scrimmage next. Stephanie Dolson right up. She's trying to shout out the answer in the game. I think the white team won, Team Gino. We'll get back and we'll see these players in action, the best women's team in the country and some of the best men's perimeter players. We're back at Gamble Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut, and we are getting ready to see some live action. Team Kevin, Team Gino warming up. We've got the mixed scrimmage here. Fans voted on the starters. And the players are really excited about this. I anticipate it being a competitive scrimmage. You see Ryan Boatwright there, a part of one of the best backcourts in the country between Ryan Boatwright and Shabazz Napier. A lot of talent here on the Storrs campus and a lot of anticipation this season for the men's team now that they are postseason eligible, and he's going to be a big part of their run. Tyler Olander, front court player. Been in the front court for Kevin Ollie, or I should say inexperienced Tyler Olander, one of those players from that national championship team. Shabazz Napier, really the heartbeat of this UConn team. Just his experience, his toughness on both ends of the floor. He's got great quickness. There's a lot of players, and there's Stephanie Dolson. We talk about personality. She's got to be right up there.
And heart and soul. Last year, Gino Oriema told us that Stephanie Dolson was the heart and soul of his UConn team. But yeah, plenty of personality to spare, that's for sure. And we did find out that they are using the men's basketball. So if any of Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis's shots don't go in, that must be the reason why, since she's such a good shooter. This is interesting for the players, too, because, you know, most women's college teams have a practice squad of guys that they play against, but they don't hardly ever play against their guys from the men's team. You don't go out and play pickup with guys from the men's team. So this is going to be a new experience for these players as well.
When we talk about, this is kind of like an all-star game in the sense that you have so many talented players, and so I'm just anxious to see the competitiveness of it. Will they feel their way out? Will they be going, you know, full speed? It's funny when you were talking with Gino, him saying he's hoping that his players get out of the way if someone comes down the lane pretty hard to try and get a dunk from the men's team.
Yeah, they have to remember the most important thing for tonight is to leave in one piece
Yeah.
to stay healthy. But yeah, will it be like an all-star game in that there will be no defense played? The men's program's been practicing for a couple weeks. The women have only practiced twice. They practiced Tuesday and Thursday. Coach Orem wanted to give them a little bit of time, so this wasn't their first time coming out and playing in front of the public. But it'll be interesting to watch what's going to happen out here.
See, I would venture to say that if there's a player from the women's team driving down the lane, the guy might want to get out of the way, because if he gets scored over by one of the women's players, that's probably even worse.
Or Brianna Stewart can dunk. Can you imagine if you were the guy that Brianna Stewart dunks on?
I'm
you're
thinking
never
no
living
defense.
that
No,
down.
you're not. I'm thinking a lot of no defense on drives to the basket for sure. So much great atmosphere tonight, so much student participation, and there's the students have shirts. I mean, the Navy is Team Kevin, and the white T-shirts are Team Gino, and they're ready to go. Do they get a prize or something?
I don't know. I was a little disappointed that Kevin Ollie and Gino Orem's pictures weren't on the shirts for their respective teams, and that they, during the regular season, they have those big fat heads of the coaches.
Yeah, they've got some here. Players. They've got some in the crowd.
Fat head.
Yeah, they've got some of those hanging around. I don't know if they have the coaches.
I want to get a Kara Lawson fat head. Do they have those in the WNBA?
No, they don't have those. They don't have those. Getting ready here at Gamble Pavilion for the scrimmage. Team Kevin versus Team Gino. It's a mixed scrimmage. The fans voted the starting lineups, who they wanted to see face off against one another. Kind of a unique spin on Midnight Madness here for the Huskies. And we see Ryan Boatwright, point guard for Team Kevin, Rodney Purvis, a transfer from NC State, Lasan Chroma, Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis, and Stephanie Dolson. And then over for Team Gino, Bria Hartley, Shabazz Napier, Omar Calhoun, DeAndre Daniels, and most talented player in the women's game, Brianna Stewart. For Team Gino, it's going to be interesting to see the coaching matchup here as well, going up against one another, and if they call timeouts or plays drawn up, how much free reign they give these players.
I always feel bad for the person whose name is so long, their font has to be smaller than everybody else's. But it's even worse on the back of jerseys, but they don't have that here. At least the women's team does not have the name on the back of the jerseys. But yeah, I mean, and like, will Coach Orema yell at the guys like he would normally yell at his women's players? Like, how are they going to handle this whole thing? Or will he just yell, get out of the way, if a guy is going down to dunk?
I think he probably yell, get out of the way, no matter if it's his player or Kevin's player. We are just about ready for tip-off. A mixed scrimmage, Team Gino versus Team Kevin. The starters were voted upon by the fans here at the University of Connecticut, deciding who they wanted. It's a mixed scrimmage, the first time they've ever done that here at Midnight Madness. So we're going to see men's and women's players playing against each other. Team Gino in the white, Team Kevin in the blue. And although, Rebecca, we've got a switch. I was going to say, we have mostly male on male and female on female, but we've got Bria Hartley trying to check one of the quickest players in the country, and Ryan Boatwright.
Brianna Stewart with the putback. What I like the last possession down for the blue team was that Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis is out there setting screens all over the place. You don't usually see that at pickup games.
Oh, not sure who's going to get that open three. You know, if I'm Ryan Boatwright, I know I have confidence in my shot, but I might try and pass it to Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. Oh! Now, Omar Calhoun is a player I think that, Kevin Ollie is really going to count on this year for scoring, and just to add some balance. I mean, Napier and Boatwright provide so much offense, but when Calhoun plays well, this is a team that really can give a lot of teams problem across the country. Omar Calhoun was a freshman a year ago. He averaged in double figures, but transition, I think, is a good place for this Husky team to live because of the athleticism they have, and we see it right there with Calhoun. Rodney Purvis there, and he's a transfer from NC State. He will not be eligible this year, but is out there, of course, practicing through the season, and he'll be able to suit up for the Huskies next year. That was a nice shot fake in one dribble, even though she missed it. I mean, you just look at Brianna Stewart and what more can she add to her game.
Well, I think the one thing for Stewart that's going to be different for her this year, she needs to be able to handle the physical play a little bit better. She did that in the tournament, but there are times in the regular season where she struggled when teams got really physical with her, let them knock her off her line, but she looks like she's got a little bit stronger this year.
That was a little bit high for that alley-oop pass for Bria Hartley. I don't think she's used to throwing them. That was about 12 feet in the air. Nice. Bria Hartley, an interesting player for the Huskies this year. She battled that ankle injury all season last year, and I think she's poised to have a great senior season. A really talented player, and has kind of been overlooked here in the preseason on their team.
She was so good her freshman year when she came in, tremendous amount of confidence. And then, yeah, there were times early, especially last year, where the confidence was not there in her ankle.
Standing up, coaching. Gino's got his leg crossed, and he's just sitting back, enjoying.
I expected Coach Orama to be up and a little bit feistier here in this scrimmage. Didn't he say he put the goals up and he wants them to be winning every competition?
That's what he did say that. Purvis is taking this seriously. He knows he won't be able to get into any real games this season. He's ready to go. Wholesale substitutions here. We've kind of got 8 players out on the court here for Team Kevin.
This is a hockey game right now.
That's one strategy. Look at UConn's projected starters, both for the men's and women's team, and we're in the middle of the mixed scrimmage. Team Gino versus Team Kevin. Team Gino now getting some substitutions. We're getting to see some of the players that will probably come off the bench for both squads. And that's what I wondered if that would happen. We see Tyler Olander, the center, take a 3. I wonder if players are going to kind of try some things that maybe they might not be able to do when it's real game competition.
Well, why not? It's like no holds barred, everything goes in this scrimmage.
Point guard.
Olander not only calling the play, but then doing the crossover, the look away, and then the hero run back down the floor.
See, this is the problem, Becky. This is what happens when we give post players the basketball.
See, post players never have the power to make the decision in a basketball game. You're waiting for the guards to find you. You see it as a problem. I see it as a fantastic opportunity.
An opportunity. I think Olander saw it as an opportunity there.
He sure did. I don't think he's going to have any chances to run the point, though, after that.
No, no.
Uh-oh. Did you see little Mariah Jefferson?
She
though?
called for the
alley-oop, putting her finger up in the air.
You're watching Midnight Madness here from Gamble Pavilion. I'm Kara Lawson here with UConn legend Rebecca Lobo. We're getting a chance to watch the men's and women's teams in a mixed scrimmage. Team Gino in the white, Team Kevin in the blue. A lot of fast breaks, a lot of alley-oops so far.
Handful of three-pointers.
Got a chance to get a look at Shabazz Napier and Ryan Boatwright starting backcourt for the men's team. And now we're getting a chance to look at some of their front court players. Amita Brima, who's a player that Kevin Ollie has really highlighted as somebody that they're going to need to get some production from. UConn thin in the front court. And he's somebody that's getting a long look from Kevin Ollie and his coaching staff. Sanaya Chong there, freshman for Gino Auriemma, brings into the fold. And you know, what a great team to be a part of as a freshman, Rebecca, when you look at the experience coming back and not having to have too much pressure on her shoulders in Chong.
Yeah, you can just come in and do what you can do. And it's not like everybody's relying on you to be the savior of a team or just to be a huge contributor. You can just come in, work as hard as you can, have upperclassmen to teach you things, and then just find your niche.
You know, one player I think for the women that is poised to have a breakout season really is a player of the basketball, Mariah Jefferson. As a freshman, part-time starter, and really seems to have come in her own as a sophomore with that point guard position.
It's the second time now on the floor that Jefferson has shown a little shake and bake.
Oh, Team Gino might need to get a timeout or a substitution or something. This is very rare to see a Gino Auriemma team down by double digits in the first half. We saw a lot of the players, both the men's and women's players, on Twitter in anticipation of this. Team Gino, Team Kevin, excited about it.
That's never a sound you want to hear after you take a three-point shot. As the announcer say, "Oof."
I thought you were saying a sound of nothing because you hit
the sound of silence is just as bad.
With the shot that just rims out. Domination. Domination in the first half by Team Kevin, wearing the navy. Again, this is a mixed scrimmage, both the men's and women's players. Team Gino in the white, Team Kevin in the blue. And chance for these players to get up and down, get in front of the fans and the students. And a pretty productive first half, I'd say, although I'd be interested to hear Gino Auriemma's halftime speech right now, saying as he's down 16 points.
All right, I gotta ask you a question. Team Gino, where you at? You guys still believe? You still believe?
First half, getting up and down. You know, we got to see a lot of players coming in, and that's the thing I think for both of these teams this season. the depth. And for the women's team, they have great depth, both in the front court and on the perimeter.
Yeah, we got Morgan Tuck, who had some really bright spots her freshman year a year ago. Kia Stokes, who we'll see if she can earn herself a starting spot or if she'll come in the front court. But it's been fun to watch. I mean, these players have not practiced with one another in these mixed teams. They've just been thrown together, but they've got some good chemistry going back and forth, even within the men's and women's teams. Some nice dunks already, a few post players trying to run things out on the perimeter, some three-point shots. So overall, for an early season mixed scrimmage like this has been pretty good. Gino's team's terrible, but
yeah, they're bad. The bright spot, or one of the bright spots in the first half, was Mariah Jefferson and her ball handling skills. A player that's really looking to make a big jump in her sophomore season.
Well, she has so much quickness, and she puts it on display right there. The hesitation, the crossover again. Mariah Jefferson is a little bitty thing, doesn't weigh a whole lot, but she does her thing with quickness, and she's quicker than most other women's players in the game.
I had a chance to watch Mariah Jefferson this summer out at the USA Basketball Trials, and one of the noticeable differences was her demeanor. She was so quiet a year ago and hesitant to speak up, and, in this UConn program playing the point guard, you've got to be able to direct traffic. You got to be able to get your teammates in and out of plays, and she really kind of took ownership of that. She was one of the older players on the U19 team, and I think that was a huge step because both her and Bria Hartley have the ability to play both spots, but I think her quickness and her ability to get to the rim could change the game for this team.
And I think she learned a lot from Caroline Doty last year, who was a fifth-year senior for UConn, who had struggled with a lot of injuries but started a lot of games because she had that presence and had that leadership. And I think Jefferson has really learned that that's part of being a point guard and a successful one. And if she can be on the floor with Bria Hartley, this is going to be a pretty good backcourt.
Changing speeds.
Yeah.
I think that was a challenge for her a year ago, and she seems to have improved in that. You look at the men's side, really probably the most impressive guy was Rodney Purvis, the transfer from NC State, who's not eligible this year. He'll have to sit out the year. But so much talent on the perimeter for the men. When you look at Shabazz Napier and Ryan Boatwright, Omar Calhoun, I think, is a player you have to identify as somebody who could make a step forward from his freshman to sophomore campaign. A guy that when he was that third scorer in the backcourt for the Huskies last year, they had great success. Double figures for him, a lot of times equaled wins for the Huskies.
Kara, you talked about before Jefferson's ability to change speeds. I couldn't change speeds either, but that's because I didn't have the quickness. I had the one slow speed. How many speeds you got?
Yeah, well, I think the changing of speeds is really paramount for a perimeter player.
Yeah.
Because you're bringing the ball up the court, understanding when to force the issue, when to push it, when to pull it back. And the changing speeds and the confidence to do that, I think, comes with your comfort level within the offense and knowing where you're supposed to be and where your teammates are supposed to be.
Many of the starters back on the floor right now. Is that the whole starting group that we saw early? Pretty close. Oof.
Practices have to be so great for Kevin Ollie because Napier and Boatwright get to go against one another, and it has to help the competitiveness of their practices to have those two guys who both hate losing and both want to win every single drill. And Shabazz Napier kind of sleptwalk a little bit through that first half, but we see him waking up a little bit here. The three-point shot, just a complete player and the undisputed leader for this Huskies team.
Maybe Gino Auriemma have said to him at the half, you really want to go down like this? You got to get out there and do some things for my team.
Look at this. We got full court pressure now.
Maybe next time down the floor we'll see Team Gino going like into a triangle and two.
Something. They better find Purvis. Maybe box of one.
How good has he been in this scrimmage?
If we touched on this in the first half or not, Rebecca, but they are playing with the men's basketball. So we saw Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis miss a shot, which we didn't see a lot of a year ago, but both teams playing with the men's basketball. So a little bit of an adjustment for the women's players from their daily routine. Although most women's players growing up, when you play pickup, you're playing with guys and you play with the men's basketball.
Same thing all summer long. If you're playing with guys, you're playing with the men's ball.
UConn, the entire athletic program, transitioning into the American Athletic Conference this season. So a couple similar conference rivals in Louisville and Cincinnati, but a lot of new trips and a lot of new, oh my goodness, there's another 5-player looking to take a 3-point shot.
Wish you could take the 3-point shot. It's just the ridiculous dribble before it. Yeah, it's interesting. It was weird for me even just coming into Gamble today and seeing the floor. Not only, you know, UConn has a new looking Husky mascot, but to see the American logo on the floor is so different.
And you know, changing conferences, you get used to those, and it's happening all across the country. UConn's no different, but you get used to the kind of the traditional rivals for your school. And for the women's team, outside of Louisville, I mean, it's going to be a challenge for the other teams in the American to really compete with this Huskies team.
Part of a new conference, though, is really nice in that when you're in conference play, Brandon Stewart hitting the deep three. When you're in conference play, it's like playing one-on-one against a sibling. Everybody knows each other's best move. You know each other's offense, and you know games can get ugly. Well, new opponents, they don't know your tendencies quite as much. It'll be kind of fun for some of these teams to get out and play some new people.
UConn in the preseason poll, of course, picked first. The women, the men picked second. Defending national champs on the men's side, the Louisville Cardinals, they were picked first. Rick Pitino. Memphis, another men's team. Josh Pastner, his team should be up for a great season. And those 3 teams, I think, have dominated a lot of the headlines on the men's side as we enter the first season in the American Athletic Conference.
So the other end of the floor, Philip Nolan at 6'9", not to block Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis's post up, even with her shoulder shake. Tired. There haven't been any whistles. This is like almost like a sprint drill going up and down.
No TV timeouts, no free throws.
These guys in striped shirts, but they're not calling anything.
Phil Nolan, front court player for Kevin Ollie, and he's a guy that's going to be counted on. And you know, Kevin Ollie said when we talked to him earlier, we're positionless. You know, we want our post players to be able to face up and take you off the dribble like Phil Nolan did right there.
And who wouldn't want to play in a system like that? I guess a back to the basket traditional post player. But I mean, all post players want to shoot the 3. They want to have that opportunity to showcase their skills if they can put the ball on the floor. Fun brand of basketball to play, fun brand of basketball to watch.
And we even saw that on the women's side last season. Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis, when she had a matchup where she had the size and the strength advantage, I mean, Gino didn't hesitate to post her up and look. In fact, against Notre Dame, I remember many times that he looked to do that when they both were going with their 4-guard offenses.
Gino's made a huge comeback. Down 2. What were they down at the half?
16.
He'll say it was the pep talk.
Or the press.
Yeah.
The press got the...
Man, Stewart looked like she was at the rim on that rebound.
body contact on the drive.
That, and if you go in hard enough and look like you're going to dunk, people are going to get out of the way.
That's true. Which is what Phil Nolan has basically been doing the entire second half. Good looking move there by DeAndre Daniels.
I don't know, Kevin Ollie might let him keep that ball handling in his repertoire. Oh!
Great about both these teams is that they're going to be challenged right out of the gates. UConn playing their first game against University of Maryland down in Brooklyn. And UConn, of course, with that early season matchup against Stanford. And so we're gonna see very early the progression of both these teams. Almost a highlight reel there for DeAndre Daniels.
It's fun to be tested early. Because too often in the early college season, you're playing some teams that aren't quite as competitive, and all these players want to be out there playing, testing their mettle, seeing how good they can be.
I don't think there's any question that for the women's team, the American is not what it was competition standpoint that the Big East was. Do you anticipate UConn trying to schedule, they already scheduled tough non-conference, do you anticipate them trying to bulk that up even more?
I think they'll continue to play the tough out-of-conference schedule as much as they can. But this is a situation Gino Ryan has been through before. The early years of the Big East Conference, there were maybe 2 teams making it to the NCAA tournament, so he knows what it's like to be there. He's pretty confident that UConn's success will raise the level of some of the other teams because that's what they'll be striving for within their conference, but of course that remains to be seen.
There's been a lot of shuffling in conference play. Let's take a look at the teams in the American Athletic Conference, and geographically kind of all over the map, but some good basketball programs. You've got Connecticut, Temple, and Rutgers. Of course, Rutgers, Cincinnati, and Louisville are carryovers from the Big East and UConn. And then we've got Memphis, SMU, Houston, UCF, and USF. USF, another program from the old Big East.
And fans at these schools might not have seen this before, but they'll probably see it a lot this year. Coach Rama sees a call he doesn't like. Although if he watched that back, he might not do that again. That was a little bit of a goofy-looking confrontation with our poor little officials.
That was. Who are our officials? Are they student?
They gotta be,
right?
right?
Student officials. How about this? Mariah Jefferson, Shabazz Napier.
It's turned into a game. 1-point game. Oh. The best part about this scrimmage is the smiles on all of these players' faces as they've done things like that, gone in for dunks. These guys are having a good time there.
Back-to-back threes.
A running clock, you gotta stop it, right? It's a 1-point game. The last minute.
It looks like Team Gino. There by Omar Calhoun, and we've got a 1-possession game here. Team Kevin led most of the way. We're up 16 points at the half, and Team Gino's come roaring back here. We'll see if Team Kevin holds for the last shot. Better look than that, Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. What a comeback for Team Gino. Shabazz Napier and Omar Calhoun hitting those late threes. A lot of smiles, a lot of fun, a lot of good basketball here early for UConn. They're mixed scrimmage, men's and women's players playing against each other. Team Gino comes out with the win, 2 points over Team Kevin. A lot of talent here and a lot of excitement, anticipation for this season here in Storrs, Connecticut at Gamble Pavilion. The women's team, the defending national champions, Kevin Ollie's team, eligible for the postseason this year as both programs transition into the American Athletic Conference. It's been a great environment, a lot of students out, a lot of fans. And that's what you get here at the University of Connecticut, where you've had so much success, 11 national championships combined for both the men's and women's program. And the women, as we mentioned, are defending national champions. The MVP from the Final Four a season ago, Brianna Stewart, is ready to make that jump from a freshman to sophomore season. She's standing by with Rebecca Lobo.
Brianna down 16 at the half of this scrimmage. How are you guys able to come back and win it?
Well, I think we were a little surprised with Team Kevin's talent, and we were able to come back just by pushing the ball and making sure we picked up full court.
First time that they've had one of these mixed scrimmages during the first night. What was it like being out there playing with guys on your team and going against the other mixed team?
It was great. I mean, it was the first time it's ever happened, and just to be able to go and compete against the guys. I mean, obviously they're quicker and faster, but just to have both teams competing together was a lot of fun.
A lot of expectations coming off the national championship a year ago. Where are the players' minds right now?
Right now, our minds are really focusing on getting our team better. I mean, yes, national championship is an expectation that we've been given, but we're focused on getting better every day in practice.
You were the most outstanding performer in last year's Final Four. What areas of your game have you worked on in the offseason?
Areas of my game that I've worked on is just being stronger with the ball and just making sure I'm more confident and mentally prepared on the court.
You've only had 2 days of practice so far, but a lot of time in the preseason to play pickup. Which one of your teammates would you say is going to surprise people this year?
You know, I think there's going to be a lot of surprises, but I think that Sanaya Chong has done really well this preseason, and I think that she'll definitely surprise some people.
A lot of tough opponents early on the schedule for you guys. Which teams are you most excited about playing against, and what are you most looking forward to this coming season?
I think we're most excited about just playing in general. And in November we have a lot of games. Obviously there's a lot of big road games like at Maryland, at Penn State, at other places. And we're just really looking forward to seeing how our team chemistry is.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. At other places is a really hard one this year.
There you go, from the most talented player in the women's games. The men's and women's team having some fun, taking some photos. A great mixed scrimmage here. We saw a lot of highlights. Great backdoor cut there by Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis. Team Gino comes away with the victory. Dunks, alley-oops, ball handling. We've got centers taking the ball down the court. Just a lot of fun out here.